Good morning, Santa Rosa. Gary Lynn Floyd with you again this morning. I hope if you know this one, you'll sing it along with us. It's called Beloved Community. Beautiful way to just celebrate what we got here. Here we go. Beloved community, we gather in unity. All are welcome here. All are blessed and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, recovering who we are in our beloved community. Second part goes like this. It doesn't matter where we've come from. It doesn't matter what we've undone. All that matters is we're here now. Keep an open heart. Let Spirit work it out. Here we go. Beloved community, yeah. We gather in unity. All are welcome here. All are blessed and a blessing to be. Yeah. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, recovering who we are in our beloved community. It doesn't matter where we've come from. It doesn't matter what we've undone. All that matters is we're here now. Keep an open heart. Let Spirit work it out. One more time. Beloved community, we gather in unity. All are welcome here. All are blessed and a blessing to be. You sound great. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, recovering who we are in our beloved community. Last line again. Recovering who we are in our beloved community. Sing that one more time. Recovering who we are in our beloved community. All right. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa. I'm Nancy Reynolds, a member and former trustee. Happy as always to be sharing Sunday morning with all of you, and happy beyond measure to be up here with Gary Lynn Floyd. And we have to thank Nick and Brett for holding the musical line back there. Thank you, gentlemen. Let me also say hello and welcome to our live stream viewers. Thank you for tuning in. We are so grateful that you are here from wherever you are in the world. Here at the center, we have a lot going on, well beyond Sunday mornings, which is my favorite day of the week, but there's still so much more going on, and I'd like to make sure you know how to find out about what's going on. You can discover all of that on our website, CSLSR.org. And there you'll also find our monthly bulletin. Look for the photo of the typewriter on the homepage, and you can find the entire listing of everything that's going on at the center. One of the great things that's going on is our youth and family program. We have something for children of all ages in our congregation, for infants and toddlers, for middle school and elementary age kids, as well as teenagers. Our program helps your children and grandchildren, your nieces and your nephews, get connected to their spiritual community. It's theirs as well, and also to learn about spiritual living. If you'd like to learn more about our youth and family program, I want to invite you to meet Jennifer Caldwell, who's our youth coordinator. She also is going to be sharing an update on our program with us at the end of service. You can also email her in case you don't catch her after service at youth@CSLSR.org. Spiritual education is one of the pillars of our center And that's why we have so many opportunities to get involved in classes, workshops, and book studies. They are all designed to deepen our understanding of what it means to live a spiritual life. Reverend Russ and the education team have put together this beautiful education calendar. And if you haven't already picked up your copy, you can do that at the table right outside the sanctuary, just before you get the doors to go out into the parking lot. There are even scholarships available for some of the classes to help with the cost. And so if you'd like to find out more about that, Reverend Russ would be happy to talk with you. Now, would you please join me in speaking aloud our vision and mission as a community? The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teachings. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. I'd like to now share with you an excerpt from that global vision. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. A world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience. We follow the global vision through the 5 core spiritual practices of our teaching. Would you read those with me as well? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, spiritual circulation. Thank you. You all sound so good. We use flowers at our center to send messages of love and appreciation. Today's beautiful flower arrangement is in dedication to Lewis Mackenzie from Dr. Edward and our center. It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of Lewis Mackenzie, the remarkable individual who transformed our building from Starsgate World into the Center for Spiritual Living. Lewis was and will forever remain a pivotal figure in our community heritage and in the lives of those he touched. His adventurous spirit and tireless dedication were a blessing to everyone who knew him. We extend our heartfelt condolences to his wife, Karen Mackenzie, and his daughter, Tressa Fessenden Mackenzie, during this time of transition. Thank you, Lewis, for building our spiritual home and infusing it with your love and passion. Beautiful. We would now like to extend a warm welcome to our first-time visitors. First-time visitors, I'd like to invite you to stand right where you are, or even just raise your hand if that's more comfortable. We would like to bring you a welcome packet of information as well as a flower as a token of our welcome. We've got several. Hey, welcome everyone. Yeah. If you'll just keep those hands up and then we can find you. Thank you. And if you are watching online for the first time, let us know in the chat. We would like to welcome you as well. All right, I think we've got everyone. Thank you again for being with us today. I trust that in this morning's service, each of us will find exactly what we need to experience for the next step of our spiritual journeys through the music, meditation, prayer, and the message from Dr. Edward. You are welcome here. Now, please enjoy some music before our short time of silent contemplation and prayer.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's error, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender. Let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
Infinite presence that dwells in every single breath I take, that is right here in every chair, in every thought we think. You are the one infinite potential from which all things flow, and yet always, always that expression of love, of joy, of beauty, of grace. Beyond circumstance and condition, there is only love. And this loving essence is right here in the very heart of each and every person that has eyes to see and ears to hear these words, to experience this beautiful service today that has been woven together in a basket of light to illuminate the good, to illuminate the hope, the dreams, the vision of a world that works for everyone, including our own beings. So there is this infinite potential in and through every person, place, and thing here, beyond these walls. So I just claim and affirm that shift in consciousness for this blessing of this service, to know that the way it has been prepared has already woven its fabric into our hearts, to open them more fully, to call in whatever it is that we came here to experience, whatever we wanted more of or need more of in our life, beyond what's happening in the outer form, to open ourselves, to avail ourselves to that greater gift of love. And so there is that availability to simply allow all obstacles to simply drift away so that we can be here present, to hear the music, to hear the spoken word, to see the eyes of the person next to us, to touch each other, to laugh, to cry. Whatever it is you brought, the gift that you bring is great. And whatever it is that you came for, it is right here. So with this blessing, I know this service is extending out beyond these walls into our youth church, into our children, into the earth and the sky and the animals and all creatures and beings. So I bless it as it blesses us. With gratitude, I simply release this word, knowing it is done, and that the law just manifests it greater than these words have even spoken and beyond. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning. I'm Claire Victor, a practitioner emeritus, and I would like to read the affirmation together, please. I continually ascend to higher heights in my spiritual awareness.
Love, faith, and wisdom, the power to be all that's been given, living in me, now and forever. I will be free here in this moment, infinitely. Hope and wisdom, the truth will live on, spirit rising, steady and strong, now and forever. I will be free here in this moment, infinitely. Open my eyes, all I can see, skies upon skies, waiting for me, waiting for me, infinitely, infinitely. Faith, love, and freedom, the power to be all that's been given, living in me, now and forever. I will be free here in this moment, infinitely. Open my eyes, all I can see, the skies upon the skies, waiting for me, waiting for me, infinitely, 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 infinitely.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gary Lynn Floyd and our wonderful band to warm us up this morning with musical inspiration. So lovely. Hello. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. I am Edward, and I'm here to talk to you about this month's theme, which is boldness, spiritual boldness. And so far this month, we've explored having audacity. Spiritual bravery, which is necessary to live in this world. And also the next week we talked about the challenge of staying on track with that boldness, with that audacity, so that we can remain inspired. And then last week, Reverend Rosa's delightful message about being unbounded and unstoppable. And that brings us to today. We're talking about higher heights. We're talking about this journey that we're on, the spiritual journey that causes us to expand seemingly endlessly, infinitely as we grow. With every experience, the good ones and the bad ones and the challenging ones and the delightful ones and the happy ones and the sad ones. So there we are traveling through this world. And so we learn to tune into the spirit within us, the spirit of creativity, to reconnect with it, to draw upon it so we can have that bold, audacious strength, that spirit that is inside us. Because the world can be disappointing and discouraging. And so we learn to not depend on external things, but to depend on our inner spiritual resources as we travel through this life. So we learn things like talking to ourselves and saying such things as, my peace depends on no external factor. My peace depends on no person, no place, no thing. My peace depends on no outcome or event, no government or organization. My peace depends on that which resides at the center of my being, for within me is a place of quiet, powerful, creative, connected, compassionate, curious awareness. And it is not a place that I personally created through anything, but a place that I discover within me, in my heart, every time I am generous and loving and solution-oriented and kind-hearted, courageous, and present. So today I want to talk about three things. Number one, that inner resource. Because to reach these higher heights, we have to know that we've got this inner resource to help guide us. And so we learn to tune into it. Number two, I want to talk about freedom in consciousness. And the idea is that despite physical, societal, all the limitations that are possible, we have freedom within our minds, and so we are to learn how to use our imagination to access that. And the third thing is this: don't let the cloudy weather stop you. Because facing obstacles, it turns out, is part of the journey. So we learn how to draw upon each other, community, whatever we can, to nurture the courage to keep on moving. Whew, that's a lot. So let's get started. Last Wednesday, we gathered for our Juneteenth community summer solstice potluck to celebrate the freedom of enslaved people in the United States in 1865. And the presenters, they're profound words. Celeste Austin and Olivia Kinsler and Lawrence Edwards, they left a lasting impression on me. It was absolutely amazing. Lawrence Edwards said something. I'm trying to say it exactly like he said it. He said, I have to imagine that one of my ancestors who was enslaved so many hundreds of years ago must have been able to see their freedom, must have had a vision of their freedom despite no visible evidence at the time. Whoa, that statement has stayed with me. Despite no visible evidence at the time, they didn't give up hope. And so I've been asking myself, can I be like that? Because in my experience, it is too often the case that even a small setback provides an obstacle in my life past which I cannot move. Or even worse, can cause me to give up completely. So I've been thinking about Harriet Tubman, whose substantial life obstacles did not stop her. She grew up in slavery. She escaped miraculously from slavery and then became a leading abolitionist before the Civil War. And she speaks about the vision of freedom that she had. And having that vision, she still had to move through some pretty substantial obstacles to get to the higher height of freedom. And her story reminds me of how it can be in life. You know, sometimes when we have a vision of something, a higher height, whatever that is, to experience freedom, to live a more spiritual life, to have a healthier body, to be in a loving relationship, to be more inclusive, whatever it is, once that seed is planted in consciousness, if there are obstacles between where I am and what that vision is, it seems to be that life goes about the business of bringing those obstacles into sharp focus, right in front of me, in the form of everything and anything that is unlike, dissimilar to the vision that I'm being pulled forward to, so that I can deal with them. It seems that way. And it seems that then, that is why I need to have the courage to face life, because the higher heights that I'm yearning for are past and through and beyond those obstacles. Now, Harriet not only escaped to freedom, but she helped others do the same thing, despite severe, life-threatening adversities. And her story inspires me to keep on thinking about turning into that presence, the inner resource that I talked about, and tuning into it for my courage and strength so that I can keep on going, whether my challenges are small, which they often are, or immense, like many people have, like hers were. And so when something is stopping me, I try with humility to think of her as an inspiration and to keep on going on behalf of people who are facing insurmountable challenges. And I think of the words she said, "If you hear the dogs, keep going. If you see the torches in the woods, keep going. If there is shouting after you, keep going. Don't ever stop. Keep going. If you want a taste of freedom, keep going." Maya Angelou, when she was asked about handling moments of insecurity, let's say, what did she do? And she responded by saying this: "When I step up on a stage, when I go to teach my classes, when I direct a movie, I bring everyone who's ever been kind to me with me. Black, white, Asian, Spanish-speaking, Native American, gay, straight, everyone. And I say, come with me, I need you now. They may be long dead, but they are with me. I have had rainbows in my clouds, and I strive to be a rainbow in somebody else's cloud, regardless of their background." That is freedom in consciousness. We may not be free in society. We may not be free financially. We may not be free physically. But the science of mind teaches us that we remain free in consciousness. So let us look at that. To be free in our minds takes boldness, because it takes looking into our own thinking and inquiring, where am I stuck in a mental prison? Am I living with or without imagination? Have I seen in my mind the vision of this higher heights? You may remember Anthony Ray Hinton. He spoke here. He is the man who wrote the book, The Sun Does Shine. And it's a powerful illustration of moving the mind from restriction to creative imagination, that book, amazing. And he was imprisoned for a crime that he did not commit and put on death row. And he used his mind to travel the world while he was on death row to maintain a solid connection to his humanity. And he wrote this. These are some extracts. Someday, I was going to walk out of here, the prison, but until then, I was going to use my mind to travel the world. I had so many places to go and people to see and things to learn. I could leave death row in my mind, and I was going to show the other prisoners that they could leave too. I remember being in school and reading a book about California and getting so lost in it. I swear I could smell the salt water of the Pacific Ocean. I realized that the state of Alabama could steal my future and my freedom, but they couldn't steal my soul or humanity. That is freedom in consciousness. His ideas resonate deeply with our teaching here at the center. This idea that we have freedom in thought, even when we don't have any physical evidence. Even when we don't have social freedom or political freedom or economic freedom, it remains the fact that we can not only dream beyond the facts that are around us, but it turns out that our imagination is a powerful creative tool, and we consider that through our imagination, we are indeed creating the higher heights that are unfolding as the result of our commitment to seeing beyond what is in front of us. One of the first phrases I heard when I came to a Center for Spiritual Living such as this went something like this. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask of you is that you stay open to the possibility of changing your entire life by simply changing your mind. You can change your life by changing your mind? No matter that it's not really as simple as that, no matter that I had no idea how to change my mind, there was something about that sentence that resonated with my soul, and it stuck to me. I can change my life by changing my mind? I can? Can I? I didn't know what it meant, so I had to start exploring it. And here are some tips I picked up along the way in my exploration of what is this business of changing your mind all about? And some of the things I picked up is, don't settle for what you've always thought. Be creative. Try thinking something else. Jeepers, go the whole way. And practice thinking the exact opposite of something you are very loyal to. See how it feels. Say it out loud. Oh my goodness. Here's another one. Don't follow the crowd. Create a new direction for you. Here's another one. Don't give up when others want to. Think of Harriet Tubman. Here's another one. Keep your mind alive, alert, engaged, enthusiastic, no matter the circumstances. And if you are anxious about it because it may be overwhelming, call into your mind everyone who has ever been kind to you, like Maya Angelou said we are to do. I stuck to that idea. You can change your mind, and you can change your life. Oh, I stuck to it. But I still had to study it, so I went to every single class I could fit into my schedule to learn about all of the possible ways of changing my mind so that I could change my life. And I learned about how to use affirmations, short, repetitive, affirmative statements to keep my mind on track and going. I learned how to say affirmative prayers. I learned a whole new way to pray that kept myself mentally and emotionally identified with the holiness at the center of the universe. I learned about self-talk. I learned to look in my own eyes in the mirror and talk to myself so I could become aware of what my inner dialogue was so that I could change that language. I learned about creating vision boards to stimulate my imagination with images that reflect the higher heights I wanted to go to. I learned about journaling and inquiry so I could question the accuracy of my thinking. I went to talk therapy. I had a prayer partners for years and years and years. I took every single class I could fit into my schedule because of that idea. You can change your life, but you got to change inside. And here are some of the most important things that I learned along this journey. Number one, I learned it takes courage to imagine a better future. Because frequently it is the case that circumstances around you are not similar to the image of what you want to live. It takes courage. Like Hinton did, who found freedom in his mind long, long, long before his body was free. And the second thing I learned is that what Harriet Tubman said is true. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. The third thing I learned was the power and the necessity of putting yourself among people who are on a similar spiritual journey. I learned about the power of spiritual community. I learned to show up regularly. Not because I always needed it, but because being present, somebody else might need it. And I learned that even when I thought I didn't need it, showing up to spiritual community was where I could draw upon the energy of other spiritual seekers while at the same time contributing my journey. The power of spiritual community. And then I learned something else. I learned that it is super important to bring beauty and joy and celebration into my mind. And that can be difficult when times are challenging, because the challenging stuff tends to want to take over the mind. And to change that takes some effort. One of our members shared a poem with me by Jack Gilbert. It describes how both suffering and joy are present in the world at the same time always. And how important it is to give equal attention to the joyful, because the challenging wants to take over the mind. So I want to read it to you. Now it's intense, and it's situated in a specific country, but you can apply it across the world. Sorrow everywhere, slaughter everywhere. If babies are not starving someplace, they are starving somewhere else with flies in their nostrils. But we enjoy our lives because that's what God wants. Otherwise, the mornings before the summer dawn would not be made so fine. The Bengal tiger would not be fashioned so miraculously well. The poor women at the fountain are laughing together between the suffering they have known and the awfulness in their future, smiling and laughing while somebody in the village is very sick. There is laughter every day in the terrible streets of Calcutta, and the women laugh in the cages of Bombay. If we deny our happiness, resist our satisfaction, we lessen the importance of their deprivation. We must risk delight. We can do without pleasure, but not delight, not enjoyment. We must have the stubbornness to accept our gladness in the ruthless furnace of this world. To make injustice the only measure of our attention is to praise the devil. If the locomotive of the Lord runs us down, we should give thanks that the end had magnitude. We must admit there will be music despite everything. Now, there's one phrase in that poem that sticks to me like the idea that you can change your life stuck to me. This one. To make injustice the only measure of our attention is to praise the devil. To give all of my attention to that which afflicts me is to use my creative imagination in a very small way. I must also dream and affirm and rejoice and vision and connect and harmonize. I must also use my imagination to get to the higher heights. I must stubbornly, he says, see a world that works a little bit better for everyone. I must take the time and give the effort to look beyond the immediate circumstances that challenge and restrict me. I must do it until I can taste the salt water of that ocean, just as Hinton envisioned freedom beyond his cell. So here are some uncomfortable questions that I'm asking myself, and I invite you to be uncomfortable with me. Where have I abandoned my freedom in thought? And is there a place I can find where it is time to take a breath and dare to courageously see beyond circumstances to the greater yet to be, to the highest height I can risk imagining? I know for myself, when I feel stuck in life or frustrated, it often means I've stopped dreaming. I've stopped moving forward. I've stopped using my mind to explore other possibilities, and I want to be careful of that. I want to be careful that I don't settle. I want to remember that my mind is a point of divine creativity within the mind that creates all. That's what we learn here. I want to remember to, well, not to accept my current circumstances as the final page of my life. Not for me, not for others, not for the world. Even though current circumstances tell me people are unjustly imprisoned, embattled, suffering, inhumanely detained, and so on. So when I do feel stuck, I repledge myself to remembering Maya Angelou's practice of calling everyone who has ever been kind to me into my consciousness and to say to them silently, "Come with me. I need you now as I step forward into life." And also, I try to remember to have the audacity to see a vision of a greater yet to be, whatever that is. Maybe it's my own personal freedom, or maybe it's the freedom of society. I don't know, whatever it is. Because in that way, I think I and we can be a rainbow in somebody else's world. And that in hundreds of years' time from now, somebody will say, "I'm so glad they had a vision of a higher height, because they planted the seed in their mind that grew into the tree that shades me today." Right now, today, I am thinking, and I can hear it in my head, the hymn that was made famous by Enya's adaptation of Pete Seeger's adaptation of Robert Wordsworth Lowry's words. It's complicated, but here's the hymn. My life goes on in endless song above earth's lamentations. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? While though the tempest loudly roars, I hear the truth. It liveth. And though the darkness round me close, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble in their fear and hear their death knell ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? In prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing? Here's what I think I talked about today. We have an inner resource that we can draw upon to reach higher heights. And so we are about the business of learning to tune into that through spiritual practices. Number 2, we have freedom of consciousness. Despite whatever is going on in our life, it appears to be the reality that we remain free in our thought. And so we are about the business of learning to use our imagination. And thirdly, cloudy weather. It's one of the realities of life. And so is facing the obstacles of our journey. And so we have at our disposal the energy and the memory of each other's loving kindness to draw upon so that we may keep moving through it into those higher heights. I invite you to breathe in with me and to exhale for a moment of practice. And right now, I invite you to bring into your awareness anyone and everyone, long dead or living, who has ever been kind to you. Invite them into the room in consciousness. Invite the energy of their love and support to be present. In the infinity of life where I am, where we are, all is whole and complete because the full, entire spirit of the living presence is here in its absolute, undiluted form. With our thought and our heart and our emotions and our dreams, we are tapped into that eternal source. And even now, fueled by the loving kindness of those around us, past and present and future, we are taking our place in the continuity of life, in the creative flow, forging something right now that is paving the way to a higher height, not only for ourselves individually, but for all those who come after us. Honoring and acknowledging current circumstances and troubles, we take a moment today to look also beyond all that appears to be into that visionary realm where everything is working according to the principle of harmony and love and peace. And however that may be and whatever that takes to get to that, we say yes to it. Personal life, in society, and rededicate ourselves to follow the urging from within, from the self within that is courageous and kind, loving and present. And with deep gratitude for that and all that flows from it, we let this be, and together we say, and so it is. Once more, breath in, followed by an exhalation. And we use that breath to make the transition to the next part of our service where we practice the law of circulation. But before we do that, you may have noticed all the chairs on the stage. Our music director, Chris, is preparing for next week. You know what's happening? Nancy will tell you all about it. We're having our one community service at what time? Just going to ask you again, so we are fully conditioned to hear that. And the choir is going to sing a lot. It's going to be big music followed by food. It's a celebration of community. And so I was just thinking about that. If you're a member of the center, won't you please stand? Isn't that wonderful? We are here, and if you are a guest of the center, a friend, won't you please stand as you are able? That's what being together is all about. So thank you for being here. And I ask you to remain standing if you have been a member of a friend for more than 5 years. Ooh, have a look around. And if you've been a member of or a friend of the center for more than 10 years, won't you remain standing? And if you have been a member or friend of the center for more than 15 years, please remain standing. And more than 20 years, please remain standing. And more than 25 years, please remain standing. And more than 30 years, and this is where I have to sit down, more than 30 years, please remain standing. Yeah. Thank you for staying here and showing up for spiritual community so that we who are new have a place to be. Please enjoy the rest of the service by sitting down. I have one more thing to ask. If you are or ever have been a member of the Board of Trustees, won't you please stand? These are our elected leaders, and some of them are standing in the back door over there. And please remain standing if you are currently a member of the Board of Trustees. Maxine has gone out taking care of it. She's back there, and Jan is back there. So thank you very much for being part of our leadership. Also, I wanted you to identify them so you can take all complaints to them. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. There are so many ways to contribute to our center, showing up in being here, holding us in your heart, and of course financially supporting the center so that it can be here. We have on our website all kinds of descriptions of additional ways to give, and as well we like to highlight our text giving program, which is growing in popularity. Try it out. It's fun. You can do it from anywhere across the planet. I'm going to ask the ushers to stand right now so we can affirm our giving affirmation. If you have already given or you give electronically, please just drop an affirmation of love in the basket in your mind as it goes past. But please place your hand on your chest as a connection symbol, your heart to your center, and say after me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
I hope you'll sing it with me. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, yeah, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, yeah, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Beautiful.
I am so grateful Gary Lynn Floyd is with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. I do love it when Gary's here. Speaking of love, I have my stack of raffle tickets, and I'm wondering if anyone else does. I will be winning the 2-night stay at the gorgeous vacation home near Grass Valley, or the $100 gift certificate to the fancy Italian restaurant. So I'm curious, what will you be winning? Well, you can't win if you don't have tickets, so I want to encourage you to stop by the table in the social hall to pick up your tickets right after service. You can also check out all the gifts, the raffle items that, by the way, were all donated by members of our center. Some good stuff out there. That 70th anniversary raffle is leading us up to our 70th anniversary celebration that Edward mentioned, which is coming up next Sunday, by the way. And I can't believe it's already here. We've been talking about it for a while, but it is time. You know the time, right? Okay, good. Now, if you come at 9 a.m. next Sunday, you'll probably be put to work with the setup. So I just want you to know that. So then the celebration brunch, the party, is immediately after the service. And boy, they've got some good stuff planned for us. I'm going to be mock bartending, mock cocktails. I just wanted to throw that out. So find me, you'll get a nice fruity drink. Now, you know about the parking, yes, that since everyone will be here at the same time, we want to be sure to use both of our parking lots. So I want to do my flight attendant thing. Okay, good. So you know where those are. Now, I have been asked to do a quick survey this morning. The organizers of the celebration would like to have an idea of how many people are coming so they know they have enough food and drinks for everybody. So this is going to be a very scientific survey. If you are planning to attend the celebration next Sunday, will you please raise your hand? Linda, you good? Okay, there we go. Thank you very much for your participation. You help science. Now, let's talk about what's going on around the center that's not next Sunday, because we've got a lot of good stuff coming up. Earlier, I mentioned our education calendar, and now I want to share with you 4 of the offerings that are in there. And I'm going to share them in the order that they're coming up so you can start to imagine them on your calendar, because what we learned in Edward's message is taking classes really makes a difference. It has for me. So the first one is right from our list of 5 core spiritual practices. It's a class on meditation. See, just because it's a core practice, that doesn't mean that everyone meditates easily. It can be a struggle for some people. I know my mind is all over the place. It's very busy up there. And that's why Reverend Russ is teaching this class. It's a class that promises to make meditation effortless, fun, and enjoyable. Can you imagine that? I know, right? So if you don't believe it, talk to Reverend Russ. He'll tell you all about it. And that class starts on Monday, July 1st, and is called The Way of Effortless Mindfulness. When you are ready to sign up, you can register on our website. Look for the photo of the snow-capped mountains. The next one addresses some beliefs that many of us may have grown up with about success, specifically that success demands effort and ambition, which we know often leads to burnout. But there's a gentler, more fulfilling way. You can find out about it by joining Reverend Sayota for a class based on Dr. Deepak Chopra's book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. Reverend Sayota says, you will discover how success can unfold naturally and gracefully, just like a seed becoming a tree without struggle. The class starts on Saturday, July 6th at 9:30 in the morning, and you can sign up by clicking on the photo of the pretty pink tree in bloom on the website. Now, I have a message for you from Dr. Edward to introduce you to this next one. Yes, I know he's sitting right there, but I'm going to give you the message anyway. He says, it's perfectly okay to be imperfect. In fact, he says there is beauty in imperfection. And he's teaching a workshop all about it on Sunday, July 14th at 1 p.m. The perfect way to spend a Sunday afternoon. That was my part, by the way. The final class to share with you is about a tool we use at the center to keep our minds powerful. Well, that's not what my script says. Oh, I'm making up stuff now. Okay. the final class to share with you is about a tool we use at the center to keep our minds on track with a powerful, clear focus. And Edward used this word in his message. That tool is affirmations. But I don't know about you, sometimes my affirmations don't seem to do much. They don't work all the time. Well, in this class, Dr. Edward will explore why that is, and he'll guide us to ways to make our affirmations more effective so they can help us to grow. The class takes place on 3 Tuesday evenings starting on July 16th. This class, all the classes, you can sign up on our website. Now, that's it for me. I look forward to celebrating with you next Sunday at 10 a.m., and then the party afterwards. So now let me invite Jennifer Caldwell to come up and talk about our youth and family program.
Good morning. I'm so happy to see everyone this morning. Well, I just want to give you a little brief update about youth and family. I've been told to do this. So something really exciting for youth and family is that we are almost, but not quite, at 100 children served by our programs. It's a pretty impressive number. Now, they don't come every Sunday. So if you were still thinking about, hey, maybe I should go check youth and family out, I want to volunteer one Sunday a month, they don't come every Sunday. So you don't have to feel worried. And I wanted to also thank everyone who's contributed to the fundraisers that the teens have been having. Youth camp is in two weeks, so we're very excited. I'm getting to take 7 teens, 4 of whom went last time and want to go again, and 3 brand new ones who've never been to camp before ever. And so our teen program experienced a lot of growth after the last time we went to teen camp. And the other part of our program that has experienced a ton of growth is the nursery. So we've been having so much fun back there with all the little people. The other last thing I wanted to share with you all was that if you are interested in contributing still to the teen camp, there is and has been so many wonderful people who have donated online, and there is a little spot on there for you to write teens messages, like well wishes rather. You can say, hey, I hope you're having a great time at camp. I'm planning on downloading all those messages, and on Sunday morning when we get to have our youth group, I'll be reading those messages of love and care to them, and so you still have an opportunity to do that all the way up until the day I leave. So I hope to see you out in the social hall, and if you have any other questions, you can come talk to me there.
Thank you very much, Jennifer, and thank you, Nancy, and thank you, our beautiful musicians, and thank you for being here. You know, that fundraiser that we're having is the raffle. It's exactly that, to raise funds for our center, because as you know, I've mentioned it a couple of times, we're not exactly out of the woods financially. So this is a way we can have fun by contributing a little more than what we sometimes often regularly contribute on Sundays and Wednesdays. And so the tickets are very accessible, and I bought a whole bunch, and so I was going around putting one in every single, prize. That's how it works. You can put it into prize. And so there's this one, the thing hanging on the wall, what's it called? A quilt. I said kilt last time. Anyway, there's this quilt. And so I was standing there and I said, oh, the box for the quilt is hidden away. And so one person said, leave it there. So I thought that was kind of cute. And then somebody said to me, I see you putting a ticket in every single prize. What'll you do if you win all of them? I said, thank you for the vision, because then my Christmas shopping will be done. I'm taking them all. And so I've stuck with that. I'm taking them all. You hear me? I will have no mercy. In fact, Jennifer, I think, left all her tickets, or was that Nancy? I'm going to change the numbers to mine right now. No, that would be stealing. I'm not doing that. I'm going to go get my own tickets, and I'm going to stack the bowls, and I'm going to leave the quilt box hidden behind the post, because it's amazing. Have you seen it? It's incredible. So don't tell anybody it's there. I'm really looking forward to spending time with you next week and getting, what, I'll tell you, if we've got time. Once upon a time in a land far away, we used to have services at the Luther Burbank Center. And this one person came to the service and was looking to have a relationship. And she was struggling with it, and her spiritual coach at the time said, this was before cell phones, you need to put an ad in, the connections type things. I forget what they used to be called. And so she did, and she met somebody through the newspaper ad, and it was so wonderful. And on their first date, it turned out that they both attended the center and had for years. But out of habit, were sitting on the opposite ends of the auditorium for years. And that's why we're all getting together in one service to see if your date is there. If there's something that is incomplete in you, or you cried yourself to sleep last night, or you're looking for your date, please do not go home without spiritual support. Go to the back of the hall where the host will connect you in the room with a prayer practitioner who will do a prayer for you. And if you're listening online, go to our website and you can find the Zoom connection there where you can do the same thing in a virtual personal, confidential setting. Take advantage of it. Go to that Zoom room. Go to the host. Get some prayer. It's a marvelous way to support your journey. And now won't you please stand as you are able for our closing song.
All right. We send you out this week with this blessing. Love be with you. Peace enfold you. Spirit lift you. Breathe it in. Truth come through you. Make good flow to you. And let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Love be with you. Peace enfold you. Spirit lift you. Breathe it in. Truth come through you. May good flow to you. Let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, 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 love be with you. Love you. Have a great week.